Back with Bobby and JJ Radio. Just joining us, we're speaking with Shai Frietze about all the outbound international side of the business that is dealt with at Sol Schartz Associates, which is a one-stop shop accounting firm here in the San Antonio metro area. Shai wanted us to make sure that we threw a few tips out there to these outbound international business owners. So Shai, how do you help business owners prepare to start doing business outside of the United States?
It's a lot of the same, process that we would go through with anybody that was starting a new business in the U.S. If we want to catch you early before you actually set foot in that other country, so that we can, talk about, is that the country you want to be in? What structure do you want? What's your long-term plan? What is your business plan? What are your goals? Where do you want to be? Are you going to have employees? What is your product? What are you, the entrepreneur has it, all of those guys have a plan. They have a product. They have it, there's a dream out there. And so we try to help them get it,
Sure.
get their arms around the business plan and what we need to do to make that happen, in the least painful way possible. So,
right.
Do you ever help strategize and maybe pick a country for them, maybe where they can save more money in taxes?
We do that a lot. And so a lot of times we have clients that just know they want to be, they're going to be in South America, or they're going to be in Europe, but they don't necessarily have a particular country yet where they need to be. They know they need to be in one of these three countries, and we can look at the tax rates and the tax treaties and, the tax filing requirements for all of those countries, and we can kind of get in and help them decide on which country is going to be the easiest procedurally for them to be in, which one's going to have the best tax rate, which one has the best treaty options, and
so is
help
it
them.
Is it sometimes a strategy where you sit down with the client and then you realize after looking at all this stuff that they shouldn't go to a certain place versus another one?
Yeah.
Or so like in South America is so broad, maybe we have better relations. I don't know any of this, but let's say you have better relations. We have better relations with Chile versus, Argentina. And so you just kind of like look at the strategy in that way instead of just going to a random place because the product is going to be thrown out there in some way or another.
Well, no, that happens a lot. The other thing we learn though sometimes when we get in is that maybe the income tax rate isn't that bad, but when you get in there, maybe the day-to-day operations, maybe there's a stamp tax, and every single document or contract that they execute is going to have to go through a bank or go through some institution and have the stamp tax paid on the face value of the contract. And maybe they don't want to deal with that, and so it's not just about what the income tax rate is. It's about what, there's always other taxes.
Absolutely.
There's stamp tax, transaction tax, sales tax, VAT. There's other different taxes that are going to apply. So it's not always just about the income tax.
Sure.
Can you tell us some of the benefits of exporting goods?
The U.S. has some export benefits. The U.S. is always in favor of increasing our
GDP,
export ratio and our GDP, and so they're always for sales there. So sometimes there's some structures that we can get set up. The IC disc is a nice way to cut your tax rate. And in the right structure, it works nicely for people to cut their tax rate, sometimes 15%.
Wow!
Just off the top, just by having the structure in place with the right, set of facts.
So you guys know the code, so that you can kind of sit down with a company and say, hey, there's these tax incentives that you guys can probably not taking advantage of just because you're not exporting this product or whatever it is at that given moment, and so that kind of that lowers their overall tax rate in the end as a company.
And again, some of them aren't income tax based, some of them are property tax, some of them are other tax incentives. So.
Right, that's awesome. So if you want some more information about this, you can contact Shai Frietze, Jeff Jackson, or Arturo at 210-384-8000. Again, that's Sol Schartz at 384-8000, or you can look them up at ssacpa.com. Take a quick break. We'll be right back with Bobby and JJ Radio.